Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be looking at a band called Cabal. Or Cabal? Yeah, Cabal. Now obviously I've not heard of this band before, so I tried to do a little bit of research, and it is practically impossible to find any information about them, and literally the only stuff I could find was that they are a band from Denmark and founded in 2005. And that's it. That's all I could find. From what I understand, they're a black and death metal band, I think. One place said black and deathcore, and others just said black and death. So, yes, information on the band is very, very lacking. I couldn't find lyrics to any of the songs either. Well, the song I was going to look at, which is a track called Mark of Rot. So I can't really say that much about the band. So, yeah. I mean, I found their Bandcamp page. There wasn't really much information about the band on there either. From what I understand, though, they do have 4 releases available through Bandcamp, but that's literally all I could find. This track, Mark of Rot, is off an album that was released in February 2018, I believe, and the album itself being called Mark of Rot, so we're looking at the title track of the album. So, since there's not really much I can say about the band, we might as well jump straight into the video, and because there's no lyrics, I can't really dive into any meaning of the song either, unless I can discern any little bits from the vocals that I hear. So, this might be a short video. Let's have a look, see what we get. So it's Cabal, Mark of Rot. Let's have a look. Here we go.
Cause
That was over a lot quicker than I expected. Very, very interesting. Obviously, there is quite a heavy, excuse me, a heavy sense of black metal in this music. I mean, it's more towards the black metal style when it comes to the music itself. Some very interesting sounds used in there as well. Like there was that sort of sound like they were scratching a guitar string towards the end of the track there, which is not something I've actually heard used too much instrumentally within music. You know, sometimes it just happens when you're playing and you're like, it happens, but it's not something I've heard really very much intentionally used within music. Certain parts of it had this weird sort of ethereal, sort of otherworldly sort of sound to it, giving it a weird, giving it, an interesting sound. And again, something I really, really like in my music is they've mixed up several different vocal styles. I think there was at least 3 different vocal styles playing throughout that music. It was actually pretty good. I'm, a little bit bummed I couldn't find any lyrics for the tracks, but there are some bands out there that don't like releasing lyrics for their songs for some unknown reason. But, it is what it is. Because that's one of the first things I always look at. Like, when I buy a CD, the first thing I always do, I put the CD in, turn it on, and the first thing I do is take the booklet out of the CD case to see if there's any lyrics. And sometimes there's not. More often than not there is. But, occasionally you get these bands that don't print the lyrics in booklets. And, as I've spoken about many times before, I like to read the lyrics to songs. I like to know what the song's about. I like to know if there's a story or a meaning behind the song. So, that's something that I really enjoy from my music experience. But, some bands don't necessarily want you to know that sort of thing. And I'm not sure why, but, it's their prerogative. They create the music. It's up to them. But yes, it was very interesting. There are sort of elements in there that sort of hinted towards Dimmu Borgir. There are certain vocal styles in there which did sort of go along with deathcore or even other styles of maybe even grindcore in there, mostly through vocal styles. But yes, a very interesting track all over. I'll most definitely have to check out some of their other stuff, but given that I can't really talk much about the band or even the vocals of the song, I can't really talk too much about the track other than the fact that, I quite liked that. It was really very heavy. They had those really hard, heavy chugging guitars with an almost gent-like sound to them. But there was, the definite elements of black metal. My God, it's got really windy. Anyway, I'm only saying that just in case you can hear that in the background. But, yeah, very, very interesting. I shall definitely have to look further into some of their music. I'm going to have to do a much, much deeper dive. I mean, I spent a good few hours trying to find information about them, and I found absolutely nothing. So I'm going to have an even deeper look, because I kept coming up with another band called Cabal as well, which, as far as I can tell, were a completely unrelated band, and they disbanded several years ago. So, it is what it is. But other than that, no, it was a pretty decent track, quite heavy. I'd quite happily listen to it. I'm not sure if it's something I would listen to on a very regular basis, but it's something I'm more than happy to listen to. Occasionally I get these urges to listen to music of a similar nature. Not bad. Quite enjoyable, very heavy, fairly short. But I can't really say much else about it, unfortunately. But, yeah. It was a track that was suggested to me, so, I said I'd do it, so there we go. And, it turned out to be pretty good. But I'm going to leave that as it is. If anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so by all means. You can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or you can even message me through my Patreon, where you can also help to support the channel and help me create future content. And I have actually just added a new tier onto my Patreon, where for $10 you can actually get your suggestion rushed to the front of the queue. But I do say, if you do go for that option, please use it responsibly and don't suggest like half a dozen tracks one after the other, because that's a bit unfair to other people who might want to do so. But failing that, if you do make a suggestion, there is the chance that it will take me a while to get around to it, because my list grows so fast. I get so many suggestions every single day that, you know, I can't record the videos as fast as I'm getting the suggestions. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it will get done eventually. It just might take me a while to get around to it. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those that are aimed towards people of the alternative culture. And obviously they want to put an end to all hate crimes, but the attacks on people of the alternative subculture is what brought the foundation into being in the first place. And it's something I very strongly believe in, something I think is very, very important. Because it never ever gets talked about, but it happens every day all over the world, and people are getting severely hurt. You know, people are getting violently attacked, they're getting brutally beaten, you know, and, you know, in some cases hospitalised, some cases they're getting, like, bones broken, just purely because of their taste in music. And it's ridiculous that this is happening, and, like I said, it goes largely unspoken about, unless a tragedy occurs. And that's not good enough. Because, you know, in 12 years ago, Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend Rob Maltby got violently attacked. They got jumped by a group of 5-6 people and violently attacked, violently beaten. Both of them ended up in a coma. Now, Rob Maltby, he thankfully survived. He was in a coma for maybe a week or so. I can't remember exactly how long it was. But Sophie Lancaster was in a coma for 13 days before she eventually succumbed to her injuries. And she was essentially murdered because of her taste in music. And, you know, this happened, like I said, 12 years ago. And at no period of time since then has there been a widespread sort of commentary on the fact that this is happening. You know, I can guarantee in the 12 years since that's happened, thousands of people of the alternative community have been violently attacked. They have been brutally attacked, beaten, possibly hospitalised, or had bones broken in that time. And nothing gets said about it. You never hear about it because nobody talks about it. And that needs to change. More attention needs to be brought to the fact that this is happening so we can do something about it. We can stop it from happening again. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to raise awareness of the fact that this is happening. They want to bring more attention to the fact that this is happening so that we can work towards putting a stop to it, so that people will realise, you know, there is consequences to your actions. You know, just because you don't like someone's music is not an excuse to violently attack them. I mean, you don't attack someone because they like different TV shows and movies to you, do you? So why does their taste in music make any difference? Their taste in music has no relevance on your life, so, you know, what is the point in it other than the fact that you're doing it to show off in front of your mates, which is literally 90% the reason that they're doing it. They just want to show off in front of their mates. Like, look at that one person, they stick out, they are different to everybody else, so I'm going to violently attack them because I don't like things that are different. That is literally it, you know. And it needs to stop because people are getting really, really badly hurt. And, you know, when it comes to a point that a young woman is killed because of her taste in music, things have gone beyond ridiculous, and it needs to stop. We cannot allow this to happen again. And like I said, this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They don't want to see another family go through what they went through when they had to see their daughter die. You know, they want to prevent this from ever happening again. It never should have happened in the first place. So if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, and find out what their main goal is, because they can explain it so much better than I can. And if you can help them out in any way, obviously don't feel obligated to, but if you can help them in any way, you know, like maybe a small donation through their website, or even like one of these Sophie wristbands from their web store, you know, the smallest amount can help and make the biggest difference. And the sooner we bring more attention to this, the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.